I got one question for you. Are you sick of debt? Are you sick of keep paying bills, and credit card bills, and medical bills, insurance bills? If you tired just like me, I'm glad you stopped by for another episode of Generational Investors. I'm the one, the only Coach Flo. We talk about investing. We talk about stocks. We talk about crypto. We talk about financial freedom. In today's episode, we really want to attack this debt issue. Okay, if you are new to the channel, please hit that thumbs up, hit the like, hit subscribe, and show. I want to share with you some tips that I've been researching, that I'm implementing into 2025, starting now, going into 2025 to be exact. And without further ado, first we want to create that budget. All right, gotta start with a budget. If you haven't started with a budget, now is the time that you look at your expenses. You look at the rent, look at the mortgage, you look at the utilities, you look at groceries. We know that inflation is kicking everybody behind. We talking from the middle class to the upper class. It don't matter because things are so expensive. So you have to start with a budget. That is the number one key. No budget, you don't know what's coming in, you don't know what's going out. That's a problem. All right, so starting with that budget is key, and just sitting down and writing down your everyday expenses. Okay, looking at how much is going out when you are, especially when you're looking to raise a family of 2, a family of 3, a family of 4. You have to look at, okay, these prices that we are shopping at, where is the bargains at, where is the deals at? Okay, looking with the utilities, the lights, we talking about the gas, talking about the phone. Everybody needs Wi-Fi, so you have to look at that as well. And then when rent or mortgage, depending on you stay in the apartment, stay in the house, you have to look at how much you are forking over each and every month. Okay, so that comes down to how much you're making, but definitely creating that budget, number one. Moving on to cutting unnecessary expenses. All right, so once you have that budget and set in stone, now we got to look at, okay, what can we cut back on? What can we double down on when it comes to eating out? Everybody pretty much eats out weekly. Some people eat out every day. So all that DoorDash, that Uber Eats, that can be cut. All right. The subscriptions. We're talking about all the different types of subscriptions. You got Netflix, you got Hulu, you have HBO Plus, you have Spotify, you have Apple Pay, you have iTunes. It's so many things that you can look back in, cutting back expenses. How about you take the bus, if you, depending on where you stay at, take the bus to work, or you carpool to work. Okay, so looking at cutting back unnecessary expenses. Really ask yourself, do I really need this? And that's a question you have to ask yourself when you cutting back expenses. And then if you're eating out a lot, say, hey, how about we, especially if you're looking to cut back and cut down these bills, how about we eat out once a month, every 2 weeks? Okay, it don't have to be every day, it don't have to be every week. Okay, how about you meal prep? That's another one. You can definitely meal prep and starting small. Okay, how about when you are on a lunch break, or specifically lunch break, say we're gonna make some leftovers from the night before and bring it to work. Okay, that's cutting back. All right, so it's just discipline yourself on cutting unnecessary expenses. And so we move on to the next one, is increase your income. I definitely had to do that about like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, just what I was bringing home, it just wasn't enough. So just had to go out here and look and apply for new jobs, new positions. There's nothing wrong with applying for new jobs. Definitely nothing wrong with applying for new positions. Okay, so you have to look for increasing your income, because if what you're making right now is definitely not enough to cover the necessities, you might want to look in a different industry. You might want to look at getting a raise. How about this? starting that side hustle. Okay, definitely nothing wrong with starting a side hustle and creating that extra income. I think any and everyone can benefit from a side hustle. I definitely have different type of videos on side hustles. You can check out all my videos on side hustles. It's just an open book of different side hustles. So when you're looking to increase your income, start that side hustle. Go jump on Uber, jump on Lyft, jump on DoorDash, jump on Uber Eats. You can start that YouTube channel, start that book, start that business, create that side hustles. That's how you create and increase that income. All right. So more income, more chances, and more opportunities for you to knock down that debt. All right. So moving on to that snowball or avalanche. You can try either or. Snowball, avalanche method. Basically, we're just starting small. So your smallest debt to your biggest debt. Okay. So whatever that looks like, whether it's credit card, whether it's medical bills, what have you, start small, pay that thing off, and then work your way up. All right. And just celebrate along the way. Celebrate along the journey of knocking out this debt. Okay. So definitely snowball effect, avalanche method, either or, it works. Both of them definitely work. You just have to stick to the plan, be consistent, and before you know it, you done knock that debt out, and now you can start doing other things with your money instead of keep paying these credit card bills, keep paying these medical bills. Okay. This is another one, the power of negotiation. Negotiating with your creditors. All right. There's nothing wrong with communicating with your creditors and saying, hey, I'm bring home this or I make this. Can we work out a plan? Can we work out a payment plan? All right. Stop dodging these creditors because they're going to keep on calling you. They're going to keep on emailing you until you pay them. You got to pay this thing. Okay. It's nothing. You can't get away from these creditors until you pay them. Once you pay them, they get out your hair. All right. So negotiating with them, looking at the high interest debt, and seeing if we can start up a payment plan. All right, moving on to consider the debt consolidation. So simplify your debt repayments, and this potentially can lower your overall interest. All right, so like I said, you just have to communicate with these creditors and see if you can come up with a plan to knock this thing out. All right, it's not depending on the debt size and how much the amount is not going to go away overnight, but if you diligent, it will go away over time. And the more you do it, the more consistent you at it, definitely it's going to be okay. Okay, so and then once you have knocked this debt out and starting to set up your finances and getting them in shape, avoid getting back into debt. All right, that's right. Avoid that new debt. All right, that new debt. Rule of thumb: when you avoid that new debt, start living within your means. That means being on a budget and sticking to it. All right. The next one: if you can, pay with cash, not with credit. All right. There's so many Americans worldwide that are struggling with paying things in cash. They're paying on credit, and that's why this credit, or this should say this debt snowball, continue to just get bigger and bigger. We know that the United States is in trillions and trillions of dollars of debt, so the average family is in debt. Okay, so you have to look at, if you can pay it in cash and not in credit. All right. And if you do pay it in credit, this is my caveat, have a plan to pay off this balance. Ideally, each and every month before that interest start hitting in. All right, so that's just a rule of thumb. And then once you have avoided this rat race of being in debt again, build up that emergency fund. That's why I'm looking to continue to implement and build up the emergency fund. A few things about the emergency fund: you should have at least 3 to 6 months. All right, if you can have 3 to 6 months on the emergency fund, because you never know, this thing can cover the expenses of repairing for tires, car type parts, or you have to someone get laid off, medical bills, just things happen around the house. Like I said, set aside, just start small, set aside $50 or $100 a month, okay, and just build up from there, because you can't plan for emergency. You just have to think ahead. Okay, so emergencies in life happens. All right, so but you can prevent some of these things by being proactive. That's all this emergency fund is all about. So, you know, like I said, things happen unsuspectedly, but like I said, you have all types of things that come and just hit you out of nowhere. Like I said, who plans to get laid off? Job loss. Who plans to get hurt? No one does. Who plans to get sick? No one does. All right, it's just happened. But if you're proactive about it, and just starting setting up $50, $100, okay, set aside and just building up that emergency fund, because like I said, cars break down, just people get sick, lose a job, sometimes cut back on hours, and you know, certain companies be cutting back on hours. So you just have to just plan ahead and then stay motivated while you're doing these things. Okay, just stay motivated. Join a support group, get an accountability partner. Okay, celebrate these small victories. That is the key, and just staying motivated and staying focused. All right, and then all else fail, you can always seek expert help. All right, you always get your financial planner, financial advisor, credit counseling services, all these different services out here to help you get out of this debt. Because like I said, who wants to keep paying things month after month, year after year? You want your money to work for you. As much as you don't work hard for your money, the goal is to make your money work for you. Whether that's stocks, whether that's crypto, whether that's you investing in yourself by starting a business, starting a side hustle, all that is possible, but we got to get out of this debt. All right, heading into 2025, that should be that number one goal, is get that financial freedom by getting out of debt, paying off things. All right, debt cancellation. I pray that for you. I pray that for your family. I pray it's all as well. So if you have enjoyed this episode, hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, because I'm coming with more fire. And continue to share the channel. Continue to like we're on the road to 1,000+, and that's the goal. All right, we're going to get this message, continue to get the content out. I appreciate you. Much love. Peace.